MrBeast asked me for my thoughts on a video titled The Truth About MrBeast and Dogpack 404 by a YouTuber named Soggy Cereal. So MrBeast, here are my thoughts. So this video by Soggy Cereal is basically going through all of the allegations that Dogpack 404 brought up and sort of debunks them or shows that, you know, hey, maybe they aren't super bad. Also, I'm not going to go over everything in this video, but I will leave the link in the description for you guys to, you know, watch the full video yourself and, you know, make your own conclusions. I'm just going to talk about some of, you know, the allegations that I have previously talked about and, you know, give my thoughts on the whole debunking them and, you know, whatnot. Soggy Cereal talks a lot about how Dogpack is not credible and purposely manipulates things to fit his narrative. And I personally think, and I think Moist Critical was the one who said it, but just because somebody got exposed, it doesn't mean that whoever, you know, exposed the person should be put on a pedestal or anything. Like, I personally think in general, MrBeast and his team did do some shady or bad things that they, you know, should be called out for. And I think that Dogpack has also done, you know, shady and bad things in trying to expose MrBeast. Like, you will see in Soggy Cereal's video, he will talk about how Dogpack, you know, took a situation and either lied about certain aspects or, you know, fabricated them or, you know, whatever he did. But there's still an underlying situation that is, you know, still not good on MrBeast's part. So in this video, I more want to take a look at the allegations that Dogpack may have, you know, lied about or fabricated, but, you know, still talk about the underlying, you know, allegation or situation. You know, and the situations I'm going to talk about, they're ones that, you know, I feel people need to be, you know, held accountable for. So like I said, you know, watch the full video if you want to hear more about, you know, Dogpack, but I'm just going to focus more on the MrBeast allegations and, you know, if some of the big ones are still valid and, you know, also talk about the debunked ones. So yeah, if you guys want me to make a full video talking about Dogpack and just, you know, how he's not super credible, just let me know in the comments. So the first claim that Soggy Cereal debunks is the whole Delaware situation where Dogpack 404 claimed that MrBeast knowingly hired an RSO. Dogpack claimed that MrBeast hired this Delaware fella and he knew he was an SRO and that his, you know, nickname was Delaware because that's where he committed the SA or whatever he did. From what I heard, he did some pretty bad things. Like, he didn't just like pee in a park. Like, that's just the rumors.
That when Jimmy was 19 and first started blowing up on YouTube, Jimmy realized he needed employees to improve his content. So, as a dumbass, impulsive 19-year-old randomly thrown into fame, he went to his local Best Buy and asked its employees if they wanted to work for it. Naively thinking that a multi-billion-dollar company would have at least made sure to not hire criminals and especially to not hire a registered sex offender as store manager, 19-year-old MrBeast didn't do background checks. Was that stupid? Yes. Is Delaware a piece of shit? Yes. Should Jimmy take responsibility for making that mistake? Yes. But it wasn't this fucked up master plan by Jimmy to intentionally hire an RSO. It was a dumb mistake by an inexperienced adolescent starting up a business. And you don't need to take mine or Dustin's word for it. If someone did but a shred of research, you'd find this still publicly available almost 7-year-old video on the MrBeast channel where you can see Delaware as the Best Buy store manager before he was hired at MrBeast. And guess what nickname was embroidered on his Best Buy uniform? Delaware.
Okay, so the whole intentionally hiring an RSO is supposedly not true, as well as the nickname Delaware supposedly isn't true as well. But like Soggy Cereal said, it is true that they hired an RSO to work on a kid's YouTube channel, and Jimmy should take full responsibility for that. And my thoughts on this are pretty much exactly what Soggy Cereal said, but, you know, I also find it kind of weird that you can still go back on MrBeast's channel and, you know, find videos with the RSO in it. Like, YouTube has a, you know, pretty cool feature where you can go and, you know, trim out segments of a video, but Soggy Cereal literally showed that you can still find the video. But MrBeast at some point knew that Delaware was an RSO, and, you know, many people recently have talked about it, yet he is still on the MrBeast channel. Like, you would think that they would have wanted to, you know, maybe just be like, hey, you know, we messed up, we hired an RSO, he is now, you know, 100% off of the MrBeast channel.
I called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask, and whenever he is, He's wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask.
For the people thinking that he still works at MrBeast, no, he was fired over half a decade ago.
I still wonder why, though, he was wearing a mask in one of, the most recent times that he was featured on a MrBeast video, though. Like, it is still pretty weird, just a random dude wearing a mask and, like, no one else around him was wearing a mask. I don't know. Also, again, to my other point, he was fired 5 years ago, yet is still featured on the channel. Like, and I'm assuming that he was fired because of the whole RSO stuff, and I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, you'd think that they wouldn't want him still on the channel. Now, this is why in the beginning I said that there's still an underlying issue. Like, even though Dogpack said that MrBeast knowingly hired an RSO when apparently he didn't, he still hired an RSO to work on a kid's YouTube channel, and, he should still be held accountable. And this isn't like a, cancel MrBeast, he hired an RSO type thing. It's more of a, hey, like, dude, next time maybe do some research onto, who you hire. And even in the video I made about, how the foundation never received their money for the eye surgeries video, like, that wasn't like a fuck MrBeast video, It was a, hey, do what's right and get these people their money type of video. But that eye surgery thing turned out to be a big miscommunication situation. But I mean, still, without, eyes on that situation, they may have, never received the money, because like that foundation had their video up for like 8 or 9 months or something like that. And it took that long to get them their money. So yeah. The next allegation Soggy Cereal investigated was the war crimes allegations that Jake Weddle brought up in the Dogpack video. Basically, Jake Weddle claimed that he was sleep deprived during a MrBeast video that he was, participating in. He was doing some like 24 hours in solitary confinement video, and Jake Weddle claims that he was, put through some very intense situations. Like, he was saying like the lights wouldn't turn off while he was sleeping and just stuff like that.
The war crime stuff was 100% a joke. I'm now a producer, but I was originally hired as comedy writer with Jake Weddle, so I just wanted to cheer him up with a dumb and edgy joke. Oh, so it was a joke. Dustin actually did say the war crime stuff as a joke. Okay, that makes sense, because in a follow-up video of Jake Weddle's and Dogpack's interview, Jake Weddle seems to slip up, saying it was a joke.
He's the same guy who did the war crime joke,
Before quickly correcting himself.
which turned out to not be a joke.
And his videos are pretty unedited, so he might have just accidentally let it slip through the cracks. And just to be clear, I'll show the clip of Dogpack's 13 million viewed video again, in which Jake and Dogpack clearly insinuated it wasn't a joke.
And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
I actually didn't know that people thought this was, like a serious comment, and I guess I didn't realize that Jake Weddle himself was genuinely saying that MrBeast committed a war crime. I thought it was funny, like, oh, hey, yeah, MrBeast is committing a war crime. Like, I thought it was just like this big joke the whole time, but apparently, I guess not. Obviously, MrBeast did not commit a war crime by keeping lights on while this dude was trying to sleep. But I do want to give some thoughts on this situation as a whole, disregarding the whole, war crime comments. So I do think that there are some instances when MrBeast can really go above and beyond for content, which, in some circumstances is fine. And, that's, what makes his channel, levels above other YouTube channels. But I do think that sometimes a line does get crossed, exactly with Jake Weddle. Like, you could have just, turned off the lights if he was asking and if he was really struggling. And I also think this kind of, relates to the Beast Games allegations as well. Like, I get that you are trying to go above and beyond, but I think sometimes, you should step back and be like, okay, safety should be the #1 priority, and we need to make sure that this is safe for everyone and, won't F them up physically and mentally. That's just kind of my opinion. And I also know that Jake Weddle was allowed to leave at any point, but I mean, come on. When you have that much money that you could lose by leaving, I mean, you're going to push yourself beyond breaking point for money, or I guess most people would.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying a lot.
And then after making those slanderous claims, accept another $50,000 from Jimmy with no strings attached, there's a lot more to be said about him.
Clearly at the time, MrBeast didn't know that, what Jake was being put through was causing him mental harm. And I really do hope that after this, MrBeast, will think twice about a challenge or something in his videos that may cause people physical or mental harm, and seriously prioritize people's well-being over over content. But yeah, the whole like war crime claim I just think is crazy. I think I even joked about it in my first video talking about, you know, the dog pack claims, but again, I didn't know that it was actually being construed as like a serious allegation. Like I don't believe that MrBeast is a war criminal by any means. I don't know. Next, Soggy Cereal claims that when Dogpack was talking about MrBeast's Feastables chocolate brand, that he used wrong numbers to compare Feastables to Hershey's.
Oh, the new Feastables formula has more sugar and calories than Hershey's?
MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per bar.
Well, that'd be pretty messed up after MrBeast actively advertised his chocolate to be healthier than Hershey's. Luckily, it's just another lie. Dogpack is being deceitful here because he's comparing a single serving sized 43 grams Hershey's bar to a 2 serving sized 60 grams Feastables bar, instead of comparing it to a 1 serving sized 35 grams Feastables bar. While if you recalculate the ingredients of both to 43 grams, then you'll see that Feastables still has less sugar than Hershey's and actually has less calories than the previous formula.
Soggy Cereal completely missed the mark with this one in my personal shit talking experience. The whole controversy around Feastables that Dogpack was originally talking about in the first place was basically how Feastables was marketed as a healthy or a healthier for you chocolate bar. And I mean, that's, you know, the whole controversy because we all know that there's no such thing as healthy chocolate necessarily. You know, something filled with sugar like chocolate is not healthy. So the word healthy shouldn't even be near promoting chocolate. And I feel like that is the whole controversial part. Like nobody cares that MrBeast is selling chocolate. Like seriously, huge ups to him for creating a massive business off of chocolate. You know, people just don't like the marketing strategies being used. I mean, especially when it is being marketed towards kids. Because when MrBeast says, hey, it's healthier than Hershey's, you know, kids are going to think that it is healthy. You know, that's why like Lunchly was getting a bunch of hate. Like Lunchly was marketed as a healthy for you lunch alternative or a healthier than Lunchables. And while yes, they can take out a few ingredients that aren't, you know, good for you, but there are still other ingredients that, you know, aren't necessarily good for you in it. You know, it's still processed foods. I mean, even a doctor talked about, you know, this claim of it being healthy.
Is it fair to say that Lunchly is healthier? I guess one can say yes, but honestly, probably more so as a marketing tactic. The reason why? Well, let's look at the recently passed nutrition standards set forth by the USDA for school lunches and see how Lunchly compares. Going line by line here. Less than 10% of calories should come from saturated fat. Lunchly turkey, 23% of calories come from saturated fat. Less than 10% of calories should come from added sugars. Lunchly turkey, 10.4 comes from added sugars. But this is where things get really interesting, and for some reason no one has pointed this out. You see, USDA caloric guidelines say that a lunch meal for kids K through 8 should contain around 625 calories. Kids need energy to function, and calories give them that energy. Lunchly turkey contains only 230 calories, which would mean a kid would need to eat about 2.7 portions to consume enough calories.
So even though Dogpack used the wrong numbers to make his claim better, I still think that claiming that Feastables is healthy for you or a healthier option is just shady marketing in my eyes. Like honestly, it has been used so often now that, you know, anytime people hear this claim that their product is healthier, it instantly receives hate. Like there's nothing wrong with saying that, you know, your product has better ingredients or cleaner ingredients or just simply saying, you know, less sugar or whatever. But the healthy claim just has got to stop. Dogpack shows a bunch of times that MrBeast used CGI in his videos.
This pit is fake.
No, it's not. Here's footage of them digging the pit. You know what? Here's a crew member's footage of the 2 non-CGI buses and non-CGI train being in the pit after they drove them in there.
Shredder is CGI.
Nope. At this timestamp, they do shred an actual Lamborghini in a legitimate shredder. But I will say that when they use CGI, it looks fucking terrible, as if it came straight out of a CW show.
This car is digitally lifted.
This car isn't digitally lifted, however, they did change the original red coloring to blue.
Honestly, nobody cares. I mean, that's one part of the Dogpack video that was just so unnecessary. Like, who cares if MrBeast uses CGI? Like, for all I care, his, you know, his entire videos could be shot on a green screen, and I don't think anybody would really care that much. Like, he makes entertainment videos, so who cares if, you know, the trains or the shredders are fake? Like, I think it's such a pointless allegation saying that, oh, they faked a train going into a pit. Literally, not a single person cares. MrBeast did a stream a while back where people could pay to have one of their photos put on a rocket ship, and then that rocket ship would be sent to the moon, and that their photos of their loved ones and pets and, you know, whatever would be on the moon. Well, the rocket ship apparently crashed and the photos never made it to the moon. And then Dogpack claimed that, you know, people never got refunded.
Here Dogpack talks about how MrBeast scammed everyone by having people pay to get their memes sent to the moon, the rocket exploding, and them not offering refunds. First of all, people have shown proof of getting refunds even before the failed launch, just because it took longer than expected. Second of all, have you thought about a second launch? And as usual, I don't just have to take Dustin's word for it. The news article, which you put in your proof document, literally states the following. However, failure would not mean the end for S Robotic, which is the company MrBeast paid to carry a copy of the hard drive filled with the memes. It's certainly going to have some impact on our relationships and our ability to secure additional missions in the future. S Robotic already has a contract to fly another robotic lunar lander mission for NASA later this year. And this conveniently went unmentioned in your video.
3 years later, the spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures of deceased loved ones to the moon, where they would be immortalized. It fucking exploded.
Side note here, Dogpack also uses another very manipulative tactic where he shows this stinky, dinky scrap metal rocket instantly exploding, which made people believe that MrBeast was really trying to nickel and dime this entire space mission, while in reality the actual spacecraft carrying the hard drive was a high quality Vulcan Centaur rocket made in collaboration with NASA as well as the ULA.
It's great to see that, you know, people actually got their refunds or are in the process of getting them. I mean, it would have been pretty fucked if the people never got their refund like Dogpack claimed, but it's good to see that, you know, that was false. It was also only $10, but I guess, you know, people could have put multiple photos, you know, so it would have been more than $10. But it's just good to see that people are getting refunds if that's what they wanted. Soggy Cereal talks a lot about how Dogpack called MrBeast's giveaways illegal lotteries, but I guess technically because they all say no purchase necessary, that they are not illegal.
What, however, is legal is the second illegal lottery.
But almost any clip you do find will have some new violation of internet gambling or sweepstakes laws.
I thought it was him. I was like, he won. Wait, really? Let's go! Wait, it's literally like his initial. Who is it? My cousin. Wait, really?
Actually, that's illegal.
Actually, that's not illegal. Only immediate family can partake in your sweepstakes, and the cousin is not immediate family. It would have been illegal to exclude Chandler's cousin unless if specified in the rules of that specific giveaway. And your snippet isn't from those rules. It's from some lawyer's equivalent to Stack Overflow.
So here's a clip of Tyler forging, or not, maybe not forging, using MrBeast's signature. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I think this is fraud.
Maybe ask your immediate lawyer next time, because your opinions are fucking stupid. It's completely legal and fine to use someone else's signature if they gave you formal consent to do so, and it doesn't devalue the signature.
Yeah, but, you know, spending money on a t-shirt because MrBeast said he would sign it when it's really just some, you know, random dude signing MrBeast's name, like, kind of shitty, kind of scammy in my opinion. Like, hey, you buy the shirt, I will sign it. But then you buy the shirt and literally some random dude who you've probably never heard of is signing MrBeast's name. Like, kind of takes the whole point out of signing it because it's not you signing it. I don't know. Like all these jerseys up here are all signed by Saints players. And like, if I knew that those were just signed by some random dude in a warehouse, I would have never bought them. So kind of same thing.
Later, MrBeast signed shirts again, but this time it was a 24-hour live stream with way more illegal lotteries.
Nope. MrBeast had no purchase necessary in the description, and even though they did say things like,
would you guys prefer that we throw money in random orders or that we throw items in random orders?
Yeah.
Somebody screamed in chat, I want to switch.
Hey.
Buy a shirt.
If they ended up picking out of both free and paid entries for those giveaways behind the scenes, which there is no reason to believe they didn't, well, then that is legal in live streams. However, I do agree that it's very scummy and manipulative advertising in my opinion.
I think Dogpack has honestly been trying to make everybody think that MrBeast is like some criminal, when in reality, I think he has just done some really shady things. Like this, for example, you know, I'm not one to say if these lotteries are illegal or not, but a lot of this is just shady marketing, just like Soggy Cereal said. Like, it's just a way to increase revenue, and companies and even YouTubers do it all the time. Like, hey, you know, buy this shirt, and in the next 4 days, if you buy this shirt, you will win blah, 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 blah. Like, I think a lot of people just have a problem with MrBeast doing it because he has such a large fan base that is made up of children predominantly. And that's, again, exactly why Lunchly and Feastables is getting, you know, a lot of hate, because people just, you know, see the marketing strategies and believe that they are, you know, manipulating children for a profit.
Just as the question if MrBeast is evil isn't for me to say, but that is again for you, the viewer, to decide. Because there is some shit that he should be criticized for and has to be looked into. I know CoffeeZilla is doing an investigation into his crypto stuff, and once that releases, I hope that clarifies some things, because those are some serious allegations. I feel like Jimmy has to become way more transparent, because that is how he got in all this trouble in the first place. They really have to start a MrBeast behind the scenes channel to upload behind the scenes footage there, and stop with the deceptive shit. When you do a sponsor read, don't make the yellow bar go real fast at the start to make the viewer believe that, you know, oh, this advertisement isn't gonna take long, I won't skip over it. But then at the end of it, make the visual timer suddenly run way slower. That's not just deceptive, I think that's pretty disrespectful towards your audience. And I know that there are still questions that you guys probably have with stuff that I just couldn't address because there is so much.
Yeah, so again, I didn't talk about a lot of things in this video. Like, for example, Soggy Cereal talks about, like, Dogpack claiming that MrBeast, you know, rigs his videos and stuff like that. And to me, that's just not really like a serious allegation or one that would like make me want to talk about it. Like, so many reality TV shows are scripted and fake, but yet we still watch them. Like, no one really cares that much. I just wanted to talk about some of the more bigger allegations that, yeah, even though it appears that Dogpack lied and fabricated some of them, there is still that, you know, like underlying allegation that is still, you know, pretty shady or pretty bad, even though Dogpack, you know, made it seem a lot worse than it is. So MrBeast, this is my conclusion that you've been asking for. After watching Soggy Cereal's video, I think that we can all see that Dogpack is not credible and really seems like a disgruntled employee. Like, he said it all the time, like, I'm not just some disgruntled employee, but it seems that Dogpack is very disgruntled if you watch like the whole Soggy Cereal video. And it appears that Dogpack, you know, lied about events and fabricated stories, or, you know, manipulated things in order to make you, MrBeast, look bad. And with all that being said, I do think that there are still some things that, you know, you should take accountability for. You know, things like Delaware. Yes, like when hiring him, you may have not known that he was an RSO, but even after finding that out, you know, he is still on the MrBeast channel. And then, you know, the war crimes. Like, I totally thought that that was a joke, but I guess not to Jake Weddle, it wasn't. But I mean, the war crimes is pretty crazy. Like, it's got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. But I think him coming out and talking about his experience would, you know, hopefully make you and your team, you know, maybe think twice about doing challenges and stuff, just to make sure that it like won't cause any harm to any of the contestants. Like, okay, we're gonna put them through this, but let's just, you know, think for a second, and maybe when they're sleeping we should have some lights off. Maybe. Again, it's, you know, inspiring to see what you are doing with things like Feastables and Lunchly, you know, and I personally think it's awesome to see, you know, a creator go beyond just creating videos and literally build a business. I personally just think that the marketing is shady and manipulates children. I think you and other creators know that by using words like healthy and healthier alternative is manipulative, especially towards children who don't know any better. Like, I think we would really all love to see you guys like actually make something healthy and use the word healthy as it's, you know, meant to be used. The CGI, honestly, nobody cares about CGI. Y'all keep using it. It makes videos more entertaining. And with the whole, you know, illegal lotteries, you know, even though they are not considered to be illegal, like Soggy Cereal said, they are still manipulative and deceptive. Now, I kind of liked the idea that Soggy Cereal had when he said you guys should like make a behind the scenes video, you know, YouTube channel or something like that. But I think that something a lot smaller would honestly work wonders for your guys' company, like making a PR website or like an X account so that you guys could respond to things and be more transparent and open. Like, could you imagine how much less hate you guys would have received if, like, as soon as, you know, allegations came out, you guys could just respond immediately? Like, for example, the whole like Delaware situation, you know, for 3 months, everybody thought that you guys knowingly hired an RSO when you guys, you know, could have literally just responded within minutes and said that, you know, oh, this guy Delaware hasn't worked for us for, 5 years and we messed up and, we didn't do a background check, blah, 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 blah. We are sorry. It won't happen again type deal. Honestly, just being completely honest here, with the lack of responses, it honestly makes you guys look super guilty. And now again, everything Dogpack has said, everything that Soggy Cereal has said, everything that I have said, it's all allegations and speculations. Every commentary channel, including myself, who has, dogged MrBeast, is just, talking about the rumors and allegations. And a huge part of that comes because there is no transparency. Yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much everything I really have to say about the whole Dogpack thing. I don't think that after this video, I still do think there are some issues and, some underlying, allegations or things that, MrBeast and his team either have to clear up or I don't know. It's tough because when you have someone like Dogpack who I guess multiple times has been exposed for, trying to expose MrBeast for self-gain. And if you watch Soggy Cereal's video, and I'm not saying that Soggy Cereal is the most trustworthy person ever. I wouldn't take everything he said and be like, oh, okay, that's, exactly what happened. I don't know. These situations are tough because a lot of it, to be honest, is, he said, she said type stuff. And it's just, I don't know. All we can do is really, see the evidence we have in front of us and come to our own conclusions with that. And it's kind of hard to, see what someone says and be like, oh, I 100% trust you. Because, I mean, when Dogpack first made his videos, I mean, the first, few days, everybody's like, oh my God, this dude, trust him. And then now it's coming out and it's like, okay, well, he lied about this. He, manipulated this, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much just my whole take on this situation. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would highly appreciate if you guys could leave a like and subscribe, post notifications on. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Ooh, also say bye to the puppy. Good night to the puppy.